Welcome to the stream, everyone. If you're new to my channel, my name is Brian Craig. This is the most pro-Trump channel you will find anywhere, I promise you. Okay, here's our fearless leader today, this senile, corrupt old coot, Joe Biden. And not only did he fall, he fell and he could not get up by himself. And I want to go through this story because I'm going to do some comparing and some contrasting at an incident when Trump did not fall and give you the media reaction. But first, let's see what happened here with Joe. And this is, I mean, keep in mind, we're on the verge because of this guy. We got a war on the horizon against Russia, against China. What kind of message do you think this sends to the world? He's fine. White House blames a sandbag. Oh, it's a sandbag's fault. A sandbag's fault that he fell. It's not that he's a senile old coot who's suffering from extreme dementia, who's a victim of elder abuse by everyone around him. It's the sandbag's fault. He's fine. White House blames a sandbag and insists Joe Biden, 80, wasn't injured when he fell again on stage during U.S. Air Force graduation. Yes, sparking even more questions about his age and his health. Yes. It's the sandbag's fault. Let's watch the video. See if you see the sandbag. Wow, did you hear that? That was loud. He's going to be feeling that tomorrow. He's going to, the whole side of his body is going to be bruised tomorrow. Yeah, see, typical Democrat, Biden immediately points and blames the floor. That's loud. There he is. Yeah, it's the floor's fault. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, there it is, guys. Yes, it's the floor's fault, not Joe's fault. It's so typical of the liberal. A liberal, it's always someone else's fault. Nothing is ever their fault. I've never seen someone who fell blame the floor, right? I mean, I've tripped over things, and I'll say, well, I should have been watching. I tripped over that. I don't blame the inanimate object when I have fallen or when I've tripped. And, of course, the CNN and everyone, they're out there, and I want to play this. This is CNN's response to Biden falling, and that was, let me tell you, that was a bad fall. And at his age, not only is he going to be feeling it tomorrow, and the whole side of his body is going to be bruised. That's very dangerous. That's a dangerous fall for anyone. That's a hard fall. But when you're 80 and you're frail like this guy, it's not good. So here's CNN's story on this. Listen to this.
The first time as president, Joe Biden gave the graduation speech to the U.S. Air Force Academy's class of 2023. And just after all the graduates had received their diplomas, President Biden appeared to trip and fall as he's heading back to his seat on stage. He appeared to land, as you can see that video there, on his right hip. CNN's Priscilla Alvarez joins me now live. Priscilla, following that fall, he seems to have gotten up, went back to his seat, seems to be doing okay. Do we know what happened? And do we know?
Yeah, we know what happened. He's frail. He's senile. He's suffering from dementia. He doesn't know where he's at half the time. He probably thinks he's vice president more than president. He may even think he's a senator, and he shouldn't be president. He's not healthy enough. That we know what happened, but they're going to go to someone and find out.
Seems to be doing okay. Do we know what happened, and do we know his state now?
That's right, Jim. And he seemed to be in fine spirits after returning to his seat. He was helped up by a group of men, including an Air Force official and 2 Secret Service agents. But all of that after what was a long 5-hour ceremony where he had shaken hands with the cadets as they were graduating.
See, CNN hasn't gotten the sandbag talking point memo yet. So there's, it was a 5-hour graduation, and This is a normal thing.
Long 5-hour ceremony where he had shaken hands with the cadets as they were graduating, over 900 of them. So that came towards the end of the ceremony. But really, the focus of the ceremony and his commencement address was focused on the world and the globe and how it's changing.
Wow. So their immediate reaction at CNN is to do what? Cover for Biden. Cover for Biden. That's their immediate reaction, and that's what they've done, okay? Now, there was an incident with President Trump when he was at a graduation, and after the graduation, President Trump's very smart. He wears dress shoes, right? He's always wearing a suit. And, President Trump's dress shoes sometimes can be slippery, and if you ever watch President Trump going up the stairs, down the stairs, off a stage, on a stage, he always walks slowly, and he's always holding on to the railing. So here we have Biden, who took a fall. I mean, you could hear that, right? I mean, that was really loud. And CNN's immediate reaction is to what? Defend it, deflect. Oh, it was a long day, 5 hours. This would happen to anyone. Well, when President Trump walked down some stairs, CNN, Allison Camerata here, she was at Fox for many years before she went over to CNN. So, she probably felt pretty comfortable at Fox, too. She probably wishes she could go back since they're out of the closet left now. But anyway, this is CNN a couple years back because they didn't like the way that President Trump walked down the stairs. Now, keep in mind, he didn't fall. He didn't trip. He just walked slowly down the stairs like he always does. And they didn't deflect like they did with Biden. Watch this. Look at the lengths they go with their Trump derangement syndrome.
There are some questions this morning about President Trump's health. And it's because of this video of the president where you see him walking very haltingly, one leg at a time. It starts happening here, down a ramp. And this is after he gave a commencement speech.
See, this ramp, it has no railings. And President Trump's always holding on to the railings because he doesn't want to have one of those incidents like Gerald Ford used to fall down. And presidents have tripped before, so he's always holding on. There's no railing, so he's walking slowly. But CNN's concerned about his health.
Starts happening here, down a ramp. And this is after he gave a commencement speech at West Point. So joining us now with what he sees is CNN's chief medical correspondent, Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Are you kidding me? Biden fell, probably broke his pelvis. He just didn't know it yet today. No, they didn't bring Sanjay Gupta or any other doctor in. President Trump just walks down a ramp, and they bring in a medical expert because they're concerned about his health. But Biden, it was just a long graduation.
This is after he gave a commencement speech at West Point.
These people are sick.
So joining us now with what he sees is CNN's chief medical correspondent, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, and with what she knows, CNN political analyst Maggie Haberman. She's a White House correspondent at the New York Times. Great to see both of you. Sanjay,
is she one of those fake news journalists at the New York Times that got a Pulitzer for reporting the Russia hoax?
President Trump is not known for being athletic, so maybe he just has a hard time going down a gently sloping ramp.
He didn't fall.
Do you see something possibly neurological that could be throwing off his balance?
It's so hard to say looking at a video, and I think that's the bottom line answer.
Yeah.
I talked to a bunch of neurologists over the weekend. A lot of people talking about this. People always have something to say and weigh in on this, but I'll start with the end, which is that there's a lot of clues in there, but no conclusions.
Clues.
Is it balance problems? Is there some weakness there? Is
now
there
look,
numbness?
he's walking fine.
In the feet, perhaps a type of neuropathy. Is it just a slippery ramp, as the president said, or slippery shoes? You don't know. And I think you got to be very cautious in trying to determine anything, certainly not diagnose anything or even speculate on this. But I know a lot of people have been asking about it, and there's just nothing obvious. He's looking down at his feet as he goes down. That's the only thing that really sort of struck me even more than his gait, because the gait can be explained by a lot of different things. But I just, it's a video, it's 20 seconds. I think anybody would have a hard time making anything of it. The backdrop of it is that, we just don't know a lot about his health overall as well. These letters that were dictated about the...
Oh, my goodness. He had when Ronnie Jackson was his doctor. So you see what they do President Trump walks over. They got a whole panel. They got 4. They got Sanjay Gupta there. They're consulting with neurologists. Biden falls. No discussion of health. Just a long day. Anyone would be tired after something like that. Are you kidding me? Let me just play it one more time. Because you saw President Trump just walking down the ramp. Yeah, where's Sanjay Gupta now? Why aren't they? Is he still at CNN? These incidents, it might seem small, it might seem petty, some of these things, but it really goes to show you how sick, how twisted the fake news media are. Everyone knows Biden is not fit physically or mentally to be president of the United States. Everybody knows this. Okay, and we see these incidents happen. This is not the first time he's fallen, but this was today. This might have been the worst fall. I mean, he's taken some falls on the steps on Air Force One a couple times, which were pretty bad, pretty brutal. But those falls, he kind of broke himself because his knees were closer to the stairs above him. This was just a complete fall. And, Biden's a tall guy. He's 6 foot or so. That's a long fall. You hear it on the stage, and that's pretty scary. That's pretty scary. Now, you guys remember this? This is what we need to get Joe Biden. We need to get him a life alert. Remember these commercials? Oh, yeah. It's like Psycho here.
When you are home alone, an emergency can become a tragedy. However, with any of Life Alert's 3 emergency systems, help can be summoned immediately, whether in the bathroom,
I've fallen in the shower.
At home,
Help! I've fallen and I can't get up.
And on the go.
Help! I've fallen in the park and I can't get up.
Don't worry, help is on the way.
There we go.
Life Alert saves a life every 11 minutes.
Yeah. Do you think that would work on Air Force One? Would Life Alert work on Air Force One? These people. I'm not making fun of the guy for falling, okay? But this is frightening. Right now there's a lot of economic trouble going on in this country with inflation. We're facing wars on 2 fronts, one in Europe and one in Asia because of Biden and everything that they're doing. And to have someone who's so checked out and so frail and so senile and can't even walk. And that wasn't the worst of it. He had to be directed when to walk out on stage. His speech was slurred. He was obviously slipping during the speech. Let me play this clip. This threatens the stability of the United States, not just international security, but also our economy. And when he was speaking, he was babbling today. Listen to this.
Push-ups and cramming for Prague Week. Though to set the Guinness Book of Records, world records, most simultaneous push-ups, there had to be an enormous amount of push-ups.
What's he talking
about? But all of you, I think you had some fun along the way. Maybe a good use of your epic passes. That would be reason enough to join.
I mean, he's just totally checked out, low energy, very tired, rambling, slurring his words, and he fell. I mean, you put all of those together, and honestly, as scary as this sounds, Kamala Harris has a duty here to invoke the 25th Amendment. Kamala Harris may be committing a high crime and misdemeanor, an impeachable offense, and that would be what? It'd be elder abuse. She's taking part in elder abuse. And she's also not doing her constitutional duty, which is to, step in when the President of the United States is not able to serve properly. And he can't. They should impeach her instantly. him too. But Kamala Harris should be impeached on the spot for allowing this to continue. This is very dangerous, people. And this is not something to laugh at. I'm not laughing at it. I'm not making fun of it. I don't think you guys should either. I don't like the guy, but he's still a human. He's president of the United States. Got to have a little bit of respect for that. But the people around him, he's a corrupt crook and all of that. But the people around him, I mean, I want you to think about this. Forget that it's Biden. Forget about the partisanship. Forget about what a criminal he is. If this were an 80-year-old man on your street and his family were putting him in situations like this, what would you do? What would happen? You know what would happen? The police would come in and people would get arrested. Here in Florida, we have the oldest population in the country, right? Because people retire to Florida. And elder abuse is a serious, serious crime. And all the time, people are arrested, prosecuted, and convicted and go to jail for elder abuse. Jill Biden, the White House staff, they're all guilty of elder abuse. And, when you see Biden so checked out like this, there's another big question that has to be asked. Who is running the United States of America? Because you see the condition Biden's in. He totally checked out. He's not running the country. Who is? Who is giving the orders to the military? Who's signing the bills into law? Who's giving the orders about military maneuvers? Is it one person? Is the military running themselves? Are the different government agencies running themselves? Is the country at the White House being run by a committee? Are there a group of people on the White House staff that are involved with decision-making, not the president? There's a lot of questions here. Some people in the chat are saying, well, Obama's running the country. Well, that's illegal. That's illegal. He doesn't have the constitutional authority to do that. There's a crime going on here. There are people, there's either one person or a group of people that are involved in giving illegal orders to government agencies and the military on a regular and in a daily basis, because he is not capable, Biden, as you can see today. And everyone inside the White House who is privy to that are committing a crime as well. And these are the things that we need to be talking about and asking about these things. It's not something to laugh about. This is a serious thing. And I hope others start asking these questions. If enough people start asking these questions, eventually, it'll move its way up to the White House press briefing room. I mean, I think they should start looking at signatures on documents. Presidents sign all kinds of documents every day. I think they should be looking at signatures on documents and find out if he is signing them himself, if the signature matches, or if someone is signing his name, like Jill Biden or a staff member. That's all illegal. These are all high crimes beyond anything this country's ever dealt with at that level, certainly in the modern age. I know people talk about Woodrow Wilson had a stroke. The United States wasn't a world power when Woodrow Wilson was president. Listen, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, everyone. And also, make sure you like the video. If you're new to my channel, you will love my channel, okay? I am the most pro-Donald Trump channel on all of YouTube. I'm on YouTube quite a bit. I live stream in the mornings when I'm on the radio. I upload my podcast here, and I also take calls on most of my live streams. We're not doing it today, but we take live calls from people that are watching on YouTube on a very regular basis, and this is where MAGA comes to talk. And tonight, President Trump has his town hall on Fox News Channel with Sean Hannity. And I'm going to be watching. I'll be talking about it live tomorrow on the radio and taking your calls on it. Now, before I go, though, I want to tell you guys, if you want to support all of my content, which is the radio show, my YouTube channel, my podcast, everything I do, there's a link that's pinned in the chat to this website. It's patrioticprintsusa.com. That's Prince with an S, patrioticprintsusa.com. They have this incredible print of President Trump. And patrioticprintsusa.com, they're a great MAGA company. They commissioned a very well-known artist named Michael Israel to paint this beautiful portrait. And then they've turned it into limited edition prints, and they're offering them first to our listeners. And they come in 3 different sizes. I have the largest, the 16 by 20. It also comes in a 13 by 19 and an 11 by 14. These make great Father's Day gifts, and they're very affordable. Look at this. The 16 by 20 is only $54.99. It really does make a great Father's Day gift. I love mine. I have one behind me in the radio studio, and this is a limited edition print. Again, it's linked right there at the top of the chat. It's pinned there, patrioticprintsusa.com. That's Prince with an S, patrioticprintsusa.com. Get your Trump print. Isn't that beautiful? I love mine. Hey, guys, thanks for watching.